Peace is a delicate balance. But when brothers turn against each other, virtues are abandoned. Bloodshed is inevitable.
What have you done?
He's taken her! He's taken my wife!
You've risked the safety of Troy. She must go back to her home.
You will condemn me to my death. Troy is my home now.
You have my oath, brother. She will be returned to you.
Call Troy your home then.
Brother, I can fight!
Go. Seek shelter. There'll be plenty of fighting ahead.
Helen's flight was a grave wound to Achaean pride. King Menelaus will have his revenge. And his brother will have his war with Troy, just as the gods intended.
So when you trigger a civil war, you will get that cinematic. I also added a bunch of trailers and even in-game footage from Troy to this video, because I actually think they did a pretty decent job with the cinematics over there in that game. Now the question is, do you actually need to fight a civil war in Dynasties as Agamemnon or Prime? Well, as Prime, not so much, really, because you start as the sitting king of Troy, as the Wanax of the Aegean. But if you are playing as anyone else and you're contesting the power of the crown over here, absolutely, because you'll gain the various royal powers over here, which can be pretty powerful, like things like distant colonization, or things like bribe or forced annexation. A faction with up to 3 regions can be annexed. Though, to be honest with you, I would not necessarily bother too much with this, just a particular perspective. But you can use your court presence over here to put all of your guys in the court. So it is very much useful. And when you do trigger a civil war over here, you will gain either the shield over here or Aris's aspect. So one of 2 shields that you do have access to over there. So from my personal perspective, it is very much worth it if we're talking about triggering a civil war. When you want to trigger it, that's a different discussion, of course, but yeah, I do believe that is very much worth doing so for a number of very, very good reasons from my personal perspective. Now, you don't necessarily need to destroy Troy, though if you do destroy Troy, you will obviously shorten the civil war by a fairly significant amount. And we can already see that there's another faction that could decide to join in the civil war. And the more factions join in the civil war, the harder it's going to get in terms of being able to finish it quickly. It is a shame that it doesn't start because, hey, you know, Paris abducted Helen. You actually don't have that capability in this game, which, you know, as far as I see it, it is something of a shame, really, with respect to that. And another thing to also mention is that your allies, whichever ones you have, will also join in this war. On top of that, when you do start a civil war, you will also gain the ability of vassalization with various factions, which you don't have unless you're playing Prime. So, significant number of benefits for starting a civil war. Though again, when you want to do it is a very different discussion, because like right here, there are various armies that are certainly marching on my territory that might be a bit of a problem to actually deal with. By the way, I think Crete is going to have a really bad day because, you know, Nestor is just busily preparing armies to invade over there. You know, some people have asked me, how does the AI handle the campaign map? Well, I think the AI can build itself some fairly massive empires. They will certainly take territory. They might be a bit too passive early on, but like once they get going, holy shit, dude, they get going. And keep in mind, this is just turn 12. Yes, I am abusing the heck out of the various troops that you can gain through the royal court system in order to have these kind of armies, in order to get elite warriors. So that's what I'm taking advantage of in that particular situation. Anyway, that is all I had to say. Costin signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and enable notifications, and stay tuned for more.